Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. In today's presentation, we're diving into a seriously incredible underdog story. We're talking about the journey of Maanasa. Now, this isn't just your standard business case study, right? It's a literal blueprint for taking completely impossible dreams and turning them into reality. We're going to see just how far sheer ambition can take you, no matter what hurdles are standing in your way. So, let's get into it. Okay, so I want you to imagine sharing your biggest, most audacious dream with the world, only to have people turn around and tell you, you can't build a big business selling tea. Maanasa faced exactly this kind of intense mockery right out of the gate. And, it kind of makes you pause and reflect for a second. How often do we just give up on our greatest ideas the minute someone laughs at them? But as you'll see, Maanasa had a very, very different reaction to all that doubt.
Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the entrepreneurial dream. So every hero's journey has an origin story, and Maanasa starts over in India. Even as a kid, she was highly ambitious, always dreaming of making a massive mark on the world. Then a huge shift happened. Her family relocated to the United States. Suddenly, she's an immigrant navigating a totally unfamiliar environment. But here's the thing. Instead of shrinking back, this new landscape actually sparked her ultimate entrepreneurial inspiration. She literally never stopped thinking about building a bigger future. Now, her anchor during this crazy transition was simple, but honestly really profound. She believed that with self-belief and hard work, absolutely anything can be achieved. And I mean, navigating an alien culture in a daunting new market is incredibly intimidating, right? But Maanasa just wasn't the type to accept defeat. She trusted that her ambition would eventually find its perfect outlet. Moving right along to Section 2, the global tea gap. Now, what's really interesting about this is if you think about the global beverage market for a second, we all know those massive, internationally recognized coffee brands, right? They dominate almost every street corner worldwide. But then look at tea. Despite being consumed everywhere across the globe, Maanasa realized it completely lacked that same powerful international brand identity. She looked at this and thought, why shouldn't tea have the exact same prestige as coffee? And honestly, that single question changed the whole shebang. So she didn't just have a fleeting thought and let it go. No, she formulated a clear, logical master plan. Step 1, identify that glaring lack of a global tea brand. Step 2, take it upon herself to elevate tea to that massive global platform. She decided right then and there that she was going to build an international tea brand completely from scratch. Talk about aiming high, right? Which brings us to Section 3, facing the doubters. We all know taking that first step out into the open is rarely easy. When Maanasa finally voiced her grand ambition, society's reaction was immediate mockery and active discouragement. I mean, people actually laughed at the idea of scaling tea into a massive international business. But Maanasa, she didn't waste her energy arguing. She countered all that external negativity with this profound internal resilience, unshakable self-belief, and just relentless hard work. Because despite that heavy cloud of doubt hanging over her, she launched anyway. Sure, it was a very small beginning, but her unwavering effort quickly yielded growing popularity. She basically let the product speak entirely for itself, focusing strictly on delivering top-notch quality. And because of that intense hard work behind the scenes, the momentum just kept building completely organically. And that sets the stage for Section 4, battling corporate giants. Of course, organic success attracts attention, right? And unfortunately, not always the good kind. The trials she faced escalated rapidly from just mere skepticism to active, deliberate sabotage. Competitors started pushing back hard. Established corporations threw massive roadblocks in her path, basically attempting to completely crush her startup before it became a real threat. And as a direct result of that, Maanasa was plunged into severe financial hardship. It was literally a David versus Goliath situation, with industry giants trying to squeeze the newcomer right out of the market. So the big, dramatic question is, will her dream shatter? I mean, think about it. When you're facing deliberate sabotage from powerful industry giants and your finances are rapidly draining away, giving up doesn't just seem like an option. It feels absolutely inevitable. Most people would totally fold under this immense, crushing pressure. And let's be real, Maanasa was pushed right to the very edge of defeat. But here we are at Section 5, the ultimate success mantra. This is the part where the story shifts from mere survival to absolute triumph. See, Maanasa didn't rely on endless capital or insider corporate connections to fight back. Actually, scratch that, she relied on something much more powerful, a specific combination of keen intelligence,
unwavering self-belief, and rock-solid determination. With these tools, she dismantled every single hurdle they threw at her. Her brand didn't just survive the storm, it soared. And the craziest part? The very people who used to mock her ended up becoming her loudest praisers. No way, right?
So, what does this all mean for us? What's the core lesson here? Well, talent is absolutely necessary, yes, for sure, but talent alone is never going to be enough to secure a win against massive odds. You need immense patience, deep courage, and unshakable self-belief. Look, life and business are inevitably going to throw unimaginable difficulties at you. But if you keep your focus locked entirely on your goal, achieving the impossible actually becomes a reality. I'm going to leave you with this final, really crucial question to think about. What dream are you willing to fight for no matter who doubts you? Maanasa took a simple, everyday idea about tea, faced down giant corporate Goliaths, and built an absolute empire just by refusing to listen to the skeptics. It's a perfect reminder that no target is truly impossible if you back it up with relentless effort and courage. So take a close look at your own seemingly impossible ideas. Maybe it's time to start brewing your own ambition. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today, and as always, keep learning.